Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. You're on a Tuesday, and once again, the Barnes and Tony Show. How you doing, sir?
Great, dude. A nice, beautiful, cool Tuesday out there, dude. Pumped for the day, pumped for the sports, pumped to talk, pumped to hang, pumped for the show.
Pumped for the game.
Let's fucking go, dude.
So Tony off the pine in for the Rangers Jets with me tonight. So obviously we're pumped up about that. The Dempseys before Jonathan Quick getting the start too, which is kind of interesting. Coming off the shutout should be an outstanding. Wow.
It really should be, dude. I'm stoked to obviously be there. First game in a long time, Brian. So that's awesome, dude. And obviously the whole Jack Dempsey is going to be sick in the city. It's winter time. The tree is up.
We just talked to Mr.
Butt about
this yesterday.
There it is, dude. So
basically, let's fucking go.
Like, let's fucking go is right, dude. Like, back in the city. Let's go, dude.
Yeah. No, so pumped. Starving once again.
Saving it.
Saving it, yeah. So you didn't even have breakfast?
No breakfast.
And no lunch, just like all Dempseys.
All Dempseys, dude. Yep, going full throttle, dude.
Oh, man, dude. Yeah, I honestly might have to get the shepherd's pie again. I don't know, though.
I mean, it worked out well the last time, did it not? I mean,
it was,
come on,
it was
dude.
Good. That's for sure. The car bombs.
I don't know if I can handle the pie, dude.
I'm trying to think, though, because you got the burger last time. Yeah. But what are the Dempsey staples? Like, what have you gotten there in the past? Anything?
I've gotten the shepherd's pie. I've gotten their fish and chips is also really good, dude.
Okay.
The burger, obviously, solid. I don't think I've ever got their wings.
Okay.
But every now and again, they'll have like a corned beef special too,
Reuben.
So like some good things flowing out. I like to, the specials are good. Everything
Wait, so now that I'm thinking, or I'm trying to think about this. So that is actually where I must have heard the name Tony DeNapolis, because was that with you we were talking to some random guy? I feel like I haven't been to Dempsey's with anybody else. And like, he's like, oh, you never heard of Tony D's, man?
I think maybe it was.
Because I
vaguely remember that.
I think that's the only time I've been to Jack Dempsey's, honestly.
That one time?
I think, unless maybe.
I feel like you've talked about going there again.
Yeah, but it's weird because I went there with Brandon, and it's just like, I'm trying to think. That was the only game I went to last year. So I could be mistaken unless I went to Dempsey's maybe before the UConn game last year, and then he said it, and that planted the idea. That's what
there it is, dude. The UConn game.
Yeah,
at
dude.
the Garden.
The Garden, dude. This time of year. Are you kidding me? That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And how about this? We do have a couple comments from the best in the business.
Yes, we do, dude. The top three right now, dude. Josh B says, top of the day family, Rangers and Knicks tonight. LFG, hashtag TCA, hashtag sports, hashtag DTV. You know the deal. Kev Deuces was good, dude. We want the smoke. Rangers, Knicks tonight. We need some wins. That's for sure. Hashtag TCA, hashtag DTV, hashtag sports. But my mother on her way to work says, good morning.
Good morning. Definitely some wins tonight. I could feel it. The Knicks are due for one. I think they're in Philly tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
But in the Rangers are ready to go, ready to battle with the elite, Tony. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again.
Mahomes escaping, on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right. So while, it was our picks on the show last night, at the end of the day, Tony, we didn't exactly mind the Dolphins beating the Rams here 23-15, sending the TCA. I just sent out the text in the group.
Just saw, dude.
14, 15, and 1 versus a stout 19 and 11 for DTV. So quite the comeback season. We're a little more than halfway through this year. Now, do you think that it's all about the picking first, or do you think that we've been just a little more, I don't know, just smarter, or we learned last year? I mean, what do you think it is?
I think that we did. I feel like last year we were just like thinking too much. It was too much overthinking. This could happen. And it's just like, just go with your gut. Sometimes like the best bet is the obvious one.
Right.
So I think sometimes you got too cute. But yes, definitely. I mean, I think it's a culmination, that and the picking first. Now it's definitely it's all coming together.
And I feel bad. I feel like the morale of the TCA regarding the picks might be in shambles. I mean, have we had one graphic this year? I mean, I don't even. I think
we had one. I think we had one. It's probably in the chat, honestly. Dude.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is.
There definitely is
I'm sure it is. I mean, you look at it. I mean, what is it? 4.5 games, I think. That's what the lead is right now. So, I mean, they could come back. I think
week three, maybe we had
week
one.
3, we had the graphic. So I mean, they could certainly come back, but it's going to take the Baker run.
The run, dude.
Run. That'll be interesting. Obviously, they'll have first pick this week.
I'm rooting for the run, dude.
But in terms of that win last night, the Dolphins really, I actually just watched the first half of this game and then called it
naturally.
But from the jump, you could tell the Dolphins seemed more prepared here, more ready to go. First drive, they get the ball and have a 5-play, 70-yard drive, topped off by a Malik Washington end around for 18 yards.
Great play.
To give them a 7-0 lead. And it was funny, right before that drive, they're showing the statistics. Dolphins, I think 15.5 points per game, lowest in the NFL. So just a stark, drastic, turnaround in a decline, that is, in terms of what they were scoring last year. Obviously, Tua missing the 4 games, the big thing. But, Tyreek Hill, hasn't had a touchdown, since the first game of the season. Mm-hmm. So that's just a big thing. Jalen Waddle also banged up, not as productive as well. So that's been why the Dolphins, haven't been scoring the way that we're accustomed to seeing. Following that opening scoring drive, we actually had 4 consecutive punts. So defense holding strong in the early going. But then the Rams, throwing an interception, and setting up the Dolphins for a field goal to give them a 10-0 lead. The Rams then, pick up 1 first down punt, but then the Dolphins throw it back to the Rams, who ensue to fumble it on the first play. Give it back to the Dolphins, who fumble it back to them. So just a crazy sequence of events here, but that sets up the Rams with a field goal. Their defense steps up to force, Dolphins to punt. They get the ball back. Josh Carty, a career-high 55-yard field goal at the horn before the end of the half. So 10-6. But then the Rams, lead off the third quarter with a drive, 9 plays, 31 yards, but miss a field goal to keep the game, at 10-6. That was a tough one. They go from 57 yards wide right, and then Dolphins get the ball back. They score a touchdown. So 6 plays, 53 yards. And finally, Tyreek Hill, finding pay dirt there for the touchdown. So that gave them a 17-6 lead, and they really didn't look back from that point. The Rams' theme of the night was just not being able to finish drives. They put together 3 drives, all field goals, but then the Dolphins add 2 more field goals of their own to give us this 23-15 lead. So season alive. Obviously, we know how quick that can change. The Jets, sat at this spot 1 week ago, and had a big disappointing loss to the Cardinals. But for now, the Dolphins remain alive. The Rams are alive, but at the end of the day, this type of loss is disappointing, especially because their defense has not been their calling card. They showed it last night, I think, going into the game, 22nd in scoring defense. They hold Miami to 23, but they can't even score a touchdown. kick 5 field goals, and you just expected a better performance out of them.
Yeah, definitely, dude. I mean, it also seemed like just from the get-go. I mean, like you mentioned their defense. I mean, the Dolphins just came in like ready to throw.
Yeah.
And they were completing passes right away. Like I think first play of the game was like a 9-yard reception to Waddle, and they just never really looked back from that. And it was crazy, the turnovers in the first half. Kyron Williams seemed to get have a tough job getting going.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had the fumble too. So I don't know, man. Just seemed really, just things were not working out for the Rams at all yesterday. And I don't know. I mean, honestly, dude, looking at this Dolphins team, I mean, do you think they've been do you think they were brushed off to the side too much? Because, you mentioned Tua being out for the 4 games. That was, 3 losses in those 4 games. They come back to like a Cardinals team who's good, lose by a field goal. Bills the next week, I think, lost by maybe a score.
3
and then
points, yep.
Now they're like, beat the Rams. I mean, you think Tua and the Dolphins like kind of have what it takes to, maybe make a run?
I mean, not to get Michael Butker too excited, but if we do the win-loss, obviously they're 3-6 now. Next week home to the Raiders, you assume the win, so that's 4-6. Home to the Patriots, you assume the win. Never know what will happen, but so that would be 5-6 at Packers. You assume the loss 5-7, but then Jets, you assume the win 6-7. At the Texans, could go either way. Let's say you assume the loss, so that's 6-8, but then Niners lost 6-9. Browns, Jets, you win those 8-9. But if you could beat the Packers or the Texans, then we could be talking. So a lot of work left. But the one thing that I would say, because I know the Rams, are a decent team, but they're not amongst the league's best, and their playoff spot is definitely in question, to say the least. I think the question is, can the Dolphins win big games, whether they're on the road or at home, against some of the league's best? Because I don't think they've really shown us that they could do so.
Yeah, and I mean, it does seem like they are maybe too late. I mean, do you think they could be a wild card team at 9-8?
Yeah, but the 9 wins,
it'd be tough to get to 9. That'd be their best, really.
I mean, 5?
That's a loss to Green Bay.
6, 7. Yeah, so I mean, to get to 9, you're gonna have to beat Green Bay or Houston, Green Bay or the Niners, and then so that's the tough part. So you have to beat like kind of almost 2 of those teams in a way, especially because the other games you're just assuming all wins, and as we know, there's no guarantee there. But it is interesting too, because I always look at teams and always try to say, like, how can they be fixed? What's the way that would get them going? And it's like, I don't know if I really have that answer, because I think McDaniel's a good coach. We know they have a ton of talented offensive players. I think Tua is pretty good. I mean, is that the thing? Like, do they need a different quarterback to take them to the next level? I mean, they've invested a lot of money in him, and it doesn't seem like they're ready to get rid of him. But right, I mean, is he the issue? Like, what is the issue at the end of the day? I mean, I know you won this game, but just overall, it just seems like there's something missing in terms of them actually being a serious, like, Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the defense could be better.
I mean, I
is
guess
that the whole thing?
No, it's not the whole thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say I blame Tua necessarily, but I don't know. I mean, I think there are better quarterbacks than Tua for sure. But like you said, I mean, in terms of rushing him, you have speed. A-Chain is great. Waddle, right? Raheem Mostert. Malik Washington was one of that end around, right? Like
tons of speed.
Tons of speed, dude. So, I mean, I just feel like if you have a more accurate, consistent quarterback, I mean, I guess Tua struggled with injuries maybe too. Was he playing the full year last year? I want to say right?
It was the year before. Where the injuries were.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, like you said, I mean, everything else seems to be in place. I mean, yeah, and if anything, like your secondary was looking way better than the Dolphins. And honestly, like Jalen Ramsey, who used to be on the Rams, right? I mean,
won the Super Bowl.
He was freaking popping players left and right. So like
Calais Campbell all jacked up too.
Yeah, dude.
Grizzled vet.
Yeah, I feel like you were getting you had some good defensive plays there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it is the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, obviously too, just about him staying healthy. But then it's like, so I guess it is the quarterback too. But it's like, it's because I don't think it's Mike McDaniel. Like, I think he's a good coach, but it's like there has to be, there has to be an explanation as to why typically, you're not beating those really tough teams.
I
mean, obviously these numbers aren't great. We know,
limited.
Yeah.
Limited games here, I suppose. But
last year, if you look at it, right? I mean, I think some of the best numbers in the whole league.
In the regular season?
Yeah.
Probably, right? Yeah,
29 touchdowns. I mean, you want to say the 14 was high. And then if you did the breakdown against the teams with the winning record,
Yeah.
So, but it's like, what is that? Is it like, that it's like he can make, easy throws when he has space, but tight windows is a problem? I mean, we know going into, him coming into the NFL, that was the concern that, he's kind of throwing lobs rather than darts.
Right. Yeah. And not for nothing, it doesn't seem like 5 games played this season, 4 picks.
Yeah. And the 14 picks last year. So, I mean, that's kind of our answer here. Even
I guess
you hate to do it, though.
You do hate to do it because you would think, man, again, like he is no doubt talented. Like he can run, he's elusive, he can read a defense, but obviously in big spots, he's turning the ball over. And, that one playoff game he had, not great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, they'll see how he does the rest of the season. But like I said, with that contract, it doesn't seem like they're going to really necessarily get out of that. But I guess, that could be the reason. So it'll be interesting to see. But I think it's the same thing as the Jets, where they've just put themselves in this hole. And I don't know, if they could really, really come out of it.
The Dolphins, you mean like just for this year?
Yeah.
Or just,
beating just thinking about having to beat the Niners, win in Lambeau. Like Tua's going to go to Lambeau and win. I don't know.
Seems unlikely.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see moving forward, what happens. But kind of nuts that game puts a bow on, week 10.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what do you think on the other side of things here? Just kind of a weird game for the Rams. They got some winnable games, but then some tough games like at the 49ers, home to the Bills, home to the Eagles, home to the Cardinals. I mean, what like we talk about like stuff missing. I mean, what do you think happened, last night? Just an off game? I mean, what do you think happened?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say just an off game because their season, it seems like they're having a bit of an off year, you know?
I mean, they lose games when, no, not Stafford, but Kupp and Nakua were out. Obviously, they were back.
Right. Obviously, they're back and they've been back, but it's just like, I don't know, maybe if just the Dolphins, their defense did plan well for the Rams, but it did seem like that they could not get anything going on the ground. And maybe because of that, they couldn't get much through the air as well. I mean, not for nothing. It just seemed like anytime, Stafford was trying to look downfield, there was really not much open. I understand, he did find, some big spots there. That one pick he had, I think on that drive, the ball was tipped twice, I think.
Oh,
and then it was tipped again, finally intercepted. Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe they're having an issue with the offensive line, the rush up front. It seemed to, sacked 4 times for a loss of 36. And Stafford, I mean, plenty of times you watch, he's constantly having to roll out too. So, I mean, maybe that is the problem, the biggest problem, I guess, anyway. Because, again, the talent downfield, you have Nakua, you have Kupp. Like, Williams should be running well, but if he doesn't have an offensive line that's blocking in front of him, where is he going?
So, I mean, but that being said, I mean, is the run still possible here?
I don't know, dude.
I mean, if we run through it, at the Patriots, you'd say win to get you to 5-5, but then Eagles,
I don't think they're gonna win against the Eagles.
So you 5-6,
right?
You beat the Saints 6-6, but you lose to the Bills and the 49ers 6-8, but then you could win your last 3 to go 9-8.
Yeah, and that's a big if because Cardinals are probably going to be playing for something as well. Who knows what the Seahawks are going to be looking like? Who knows where the Saints are even going to be? Too? You never know.
And they beat the
Cardinals.
They beat the Niners earlier in the season as well.
Sorry, they lost the Cardinals earlier.
I mean, they have been the kryptonite at times for them.
Yeah.
So,
but that was Niners injured. Limping.
Now everybody's back other than Ayuk.
Yeah.
So. It is interesting because, like we were talking about, we'd like to, see them, go on the run as well.
And the 2 games before 36. That, dude, like, beating the Vikings, beating the Seahawks as well, too.
Putting together solid games. And just kind of looking at the NFC wildcard situation here, right now the Vikings have the 5 seed, the Commanders have the 6 seed, the Packers have the 7, and the Niners are actually out of the playoffs right now. And then you got the Bears at 4 and 5, which everybody says they're expecting them to fall off. And they actually, I don't know if you saw this, but fired their offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, which obviously makes sense. The no touchdowns the last 2 games. And you would imagine the coach is next, whether it's at the end of the season, during the season, who knows. But then you also have the Seahawks 4 and 5, Bucks 4 and 6. So I don't know. When I look at that, it's like I don't know if they're really going to get in.
The Rams, I don't know, dude. And then again, I mean, if they continue also to have trouble in the red zone like this,
which is odd,
which is very, very odd. Because again, I mean, you'll get their past 2 wins. I mean, and you'll get this game. I mean, the stats for Kupp and Nakua are solid,
right?
And it's just like they were getting there. They just could not finish these drives. And then obviously, I guess the unfortunate turnover. And then I think they were 3 for 12 or 3 for 14 third down conversions.
Yeah, they were not converting any third downs.
Do you think maybe that's like the play calling didn't really adjust for the defense that was in front of them? Maybe
I guess, or the line is it?
Yeah.
It just seems like you have Stafford with time to throw, and then he's got Kupp and Nakua downfield. I mean, you would think like he'd be able to figure it out. And like you look at Williams, the yards per carry wasn't bad, but it's like I don't know. Maybe they should have ran a little more too, potentially.
Maybe.
So couple options there. I was
against the Vikings, I think. Yeah, the Vikings hit almost 100 yards, and against the Seahawks, they hit almost 100 yards as well. So it's like, give him 22 carries there, 23 carries there. All of a sudden, he's like 8 carries light. I mean, that would have probably helped you get some third downs, if anything.
Yeah. So. Absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see, but I just think they're outside looking in. And actually, I was going to say so. Let's say the NFC South, is a 1 bid, division for the playoffs. So Vikings, Commanders, Packers, Niners. That's kind of, I guess, technically Rams, Seahawks, Bucks have an outside chance. But like for those 3 spots, I mean, I just look at it as Commanders are getting in. Well, Vikings are getting in, but then it's like, so who's getting left out here? I mean, it doesn't feel like it's going to be the Niners. Are the Cardinals going to collapse? Like, this is actually real interesting. Like, who's gonna be in and who's going to be out here?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it does. I mean, the Niners are going to need to have a good back half of the year, and I mean, and not for nothing, like even so that may be too late,
right?
Because the Cards are humming 4 games, win streak there. They're 6 and 4. I don't know. I mean, I guess, maybe the Niners need to hope that the Cardinals kind of crash and burn at some point.
I mean, I guess Ernie could be on the outside looking in too, potentially. I know they're coming off the bye.
Yeah, that is crazy, dude.
There's just not enough spots.
That sucks, dude. Let's see. Dude. Cardinals don't have like the hardest schedule,
but not the easiest either.
No, and ending the season with the Niners too. That could be. They're going to be looking for.
That's the NFL, the Week 18 Sunday night matchup.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, their road there. Oof. Seahawks, Packers, Bills coming up for the Niners.
And just looking at the Packers schedule down the stretch here. So Bears this week, the Niners, Dolphins, at Lions, at Seahawks, home to Saints, at Vikings, Bears. So I can't make a definitive call here. This is tough.
I would think that commies make it. I would think. Oh my goodness, dude. Vikings blow it, I think.
Wow.
Darnold blows it. They've been kind of
no, you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if that actually does end up happening. I just feel like Green Bay's in, the Niners are in,
and the Commanders?
And the Commanders are in, yeah. I think that's what it is.
I'm rooting for the run, dude.
So, no Bears, no Vikings, no
Baker.
Bucks. I mean, unless Falcons collapse. And
the Bucks can still win the division, dude.
Dude, I need Baker to make the run. Oh man.
I mean, come on, Atlanta's like they're bound to maybe.
I mean, if we do the Atlanta schedule
row.
here, I mean, at the Broncos, I mean, they just lost to the Saints. I would not be. I'm honestly going to give them a loss there. So that'd be 6-5.
That's a hopeful
Lose
loss.
to the Chargers, 6-6. Beat the Vikings, 7-6. Beat the Raiders, 8-6. Beat the Giants, 9-6. Lose to the Commanders, 9-7. Beat the Panthers, 10-7. 10-7. Might get in.
Might. It will probably. I would say.
Baker has to be perfect in order to combat that, I think.
Evans has to be perfect, dude.
Yeah. Will he continue that 1,000-yard streak too, which is interesting? You know, he's had one every season of his career.
He's definitely going to want it.
But it's like, I don't know if there's I guess I have to see how many receiving yards he has right now.
Right now, dude.
I feel like it can't be that many, right?
Godwin's leaving with 5.72, so
Evans, what does he have?
335.
335, and he's got 7 games. So he basically has to average 100 yards
every
per
game.
So he's probably not going to get it.
It's so tough, dude.
Yeah.
He could,
and especially with Godwin out, I mean, he has an opportunity to do so. But
he needs to go. He needs to have a game like this week, like 200 yards.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like let's go, dude.
So it'd be interesting to see, what happens there. Also, I forgot to mention, I saw, we had a couple more comments here. Tommy saying, yo, boys, quickie back between the pipes tonight. Let's go Rangers. So obviously we're jacked up about that. And to me, I kind of like this type of thing because you don't really see it in like other sports, but I know that they did this last year. Like when Quick was on the heater, they played him more. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I think so, dude. Well, it's just kind of odd, you know. And then it gives me that queasy feeling because it's like, we just saw Shesterkin like last start was against the Sabres, no?
Yes, get pulled,
not a good time.
But then he comes back for the Sharks, have a shutout win, no?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because I feel like I could see Laviolette, using that as like a confidence booster.
Yeah, I could see that, dude. I just hope that he's not hurt or anything, though.
No, I don't think that's what it is.
I don't think so either. But
because you get pulled, you embarrass yourself, and then you're gonna go against the Jets who lost one. You know what I mean? It's like I just think it's
Laviolette made that call.
Yeah,
and again, we talked about the Rangers needing something extra here.
Yeah.
Like this is a call by Laviolette. Quick comes in, does really well, good goaltending, defense, turns into good offense. They score and they win.
Yeah, and then it's funny that's gonna happen, and then Igor will shut out the Sharks, and then Quick is gonna play like 2 games the next like 15.
Exactly. But you know what, dude? He's a role player. All right, dude. That's it.
I mean, his father's friend said at the bar, he'll do this job for the rest of his life.
I mean, backup tender, you come in, whatever. Sure, dude. Spicy beef, whatever.
I mean, you think he could hang on as the backup for like another 3-4 years or no? Or that
what is he, 37? 37?
It's around.
So, yeah. Yeah, dude. Right?
I mean, if he's not he's not having that many starts, right? I mean, it's like
Marc-Andre Fleury does it, right? He's 39, isn't he?
Yeah. And for some reason, I feel like Quick, maybe he's 38. Like I know he's.
I think Marc-Andre Fleury is 39, and I know he's old. I think he's maybe the eldest. Jonathan Quick. He is 38.
38. Okay.
Yeah, dude. So give him. I can say he's going to 40. He probably wants to go to 40. Right?
Oh yeah.
So let's go. Why not? And then again, backup tender. Like, come on, dude. Like,
so
yoga half the time. Stay loose.
Oh yeah.
Fine.
No, he's living the life. Honestly, he's living the life. Your mother says nice jersey, Brian, and then she follows it up by saying New York football sucks. I mean, how do you even respond to something like that? I mean, right? I mean, is it not apparent, Tony?
It is apparent. It is very, very apparent. Just like my mother is apparent.
But I'm just like, I know it's like so hard to say, like, what are they gonna do? But if you just had to do the Michael Houdini here, who turns it around first?
That's a great question. I mean,
I know history would suggest one
the
team.
Giants.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Even though they don't seem like they're close at all.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like
talent
again, like Giants, maybe Belichick.
Yeah.
Like I can see that kind of maybe working out, but I would
With
maybe
Carr?
stay away from that. No, not with Carr, dude.
But you
Draft
think
a quarterback.
But you think like and like Bill would be good with like a rookie quarterback from day one, like a Mac Jones situation. But obviously they're hoping for better than that.
I would like to think that he used that year with Mac Jones, or the years of Mac Jones, as like a learning lesson here. So he'll understand what needs to be done maybe now, and he wants to kind of, clean his record a little bit, get back to the fame. Also, other hand, the girlfriend, what is she, 23 years old? Does he really care? Is he just going to be a gimmick? Whatever.
You really think? He just doesn't strike me as someone who takes coaching as a gimmick, though. You know what I mean? Or you think he really just doesn't care anymore?
I think he could be that stubborn, where he's just like, no, like it's going to work, different team, like maybe whatever. I don't know.
I never needed Tom.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Is it just me too? Or does he also get a free pass for like being so wrong about Brady? I know I've talked about it a bunch, but I feel like no one really talks about that. Like that's like an idiotic type of move. And it was he wanted to do it 3, 4, maybe even 5 years prior to actually when they did get rid of him.
I know. So crazy, but
right? I mean, that doesn't get talked about as much.
Again, I think that's stubborn, egotistical move. So but again, maybe he was humbled. I think it's a complete flip of the coin. But again, I think whether the Giants do that or get a younger coach to bring in to draft their quarterback, I just don't know. I mean, again, history will say that the Jets ruin
just everything. Not even just quarterbacks, coaches.
Yeah, dude. And not for nothing. Sauce Gardner's not looking good this year. Garrett Wilson took a while to get jump started here, and it's just it just seems like anything that's around them as well is not good. Like Adams seems fed up already. Defense is getting injured as well. The O-line does not look good. Who is your coach going to be too?
Yeah. Your mother suggests Aaron Rodgers as the player coach next year.
I don't think he can. No, there's no way. That can't happen.
And then it was funny. This is why I think Gio's an idiot. But this morning I had it on at the office, the CBS Sports Simon Cast, and he was suggesting Mike McCarthy, which I think would be the dumbest thing. And it's didn't Rodgers hate him at the end? He's just trying to say oh well, he won his only Super Bowl with them. They both would be highly motivated. But I think no fucking way, Tony.
I don't think so, dude. Because again, if they don't like each other, it's not going to work out. And again, I mean, I don't know about McCarthy so much, but I mean, Kugler wasn't working, so maybe it was him too. But at this point, Rodgers is not going to be taking his shit, right? He's not going to want to be coached by him.
No, and I think if Rodgers portrays that he's all in, if he even wants to play anymore, I think they will take it, but. I think they should just this is it. It's failed. There's not gonna be some crazy story next year. Canyon of Heroes. No way, dude. It's just move. Bite the bullet here. No.
Yeah. No. I think so. Some guy called in Rick and Dave and was wondering if Rodgers would do again, following in Brett Favre's footsteps to now go to a different team and do somewhat good.
That would be hilarious. But I just.
Obviously, Minnesota would not be in the cards, I would imagine, unless Sam Darnold does.
No, McCarthy, the route.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point. But maybe he goes to the Giants. Giants or Belichick?
But either way, come on, right? Isn't
Giants with Belichick, the gap year, try to go for Archie afterwards. Who knows?
But the Jets need to build. Another year of Aaron Rodgers does not do anything.
Oh, no, I totally agree. They Aaron Rodgers, there's no way you can bring him back, dude.
Yeah, but I think they're going to.
Why?
He wants to.
No.
No,
really?
Well, also it's the Jets.
But you really think so, dude?
Yeah, because they're just gonna say, oh, maybe we'll get a good coach.
Even if they lose out the rest of the year.
Oh yeah. And then your mother says he's too old to play, which is definitely a good point.
He may not even survive the rest of the season, dude.
Yeah. And then it's interesting too. You give up those draft picks, and especially if Rodgers isn't coming back. I mean, Devontae Adams is done. I know he's more. So it's just that was a complete waste of draft picks.
Yeah,
as well.
It was.
And I knew it from the start. I mean, they were already weren't they already 3-6 when they did that?
That's right.
Stupid.
And it's Hassan Reddick's been a bust as well. Mike Williams is catching touchdowns for another team.
Yeah, no, they just can't get it right. And it's I was trying to think about this morning. I have a couple ideas, but if everybody was on the table and you are gonna draft the quarterback, do it right, who's the coach?
It's a great question. I mean, a lot of people talk about Mike Vrabel when that question is brought up.
That is let's just bring Saleh back at that point.
Yeah, he's defensive.
You need an offensive-minded
coach. I mean, but there's no current head coach that's going to be looking for a job that's going to be good.
Well, he's an offensive coordinator.
What's what I mean? Okay.
Cliff Kingsbury.
First time. Oh, okay.
You know, he's the
Yeah,
Commanders OC. Obviously, didn't work out with Texas Tech and Arizona, but had good moments. Obviously, he's thriving with Daniels. I just feel like bring him in and have a veteran defensive coordinator. I don't care if Rex wants to take the job. Go ahead. But you know what I mean? If I know he failed in Arizona, but I just feel like that was because like he didn't have like he can handle the offense, but he needs a strong leader as a defensive coordinator. And then I think, you know, that could work out, especially because he's innovative. Like the Jets as a team need offensive thoughts like that.
You think they'll be able to get him in the offseason?
I mean, unless like, you know, other team, but then it's like, where are they drafting? Who's the quarterback? So I think that's the thing. But if you're in position to draft a quarterback, which you would imagine they would be, that he would be interested.
Yeah, no, that would be great, dude. I mean, do you think there's anyone that's how old is Cliff Kingsbury?
I mean, he's probably 40 or something.
Okay, that's not that bad.
No,
not at all, dude.
So that was just kind of a thought on my end. Obviously, you have Slovic from the Texans, Ben Johnson from the Lions, but it seems like they're not going to want to take the Jets jobs. So those are the guys that just came to mind.
If Rodgers stays, like, who's going to want to take that job, though?
Maybe Kingsbury, but probably, I don't know. McCarthy.
Oh, my God.
There's no way that works out, though, with McCarthy. Absolutely not.
Oh,
the guy there's just no way. So it's really going to be interesting to see, you know, what this rebuild, you know, looks like.
I mean, honestly, percentage. If you put a percentage on Rodgers starting for the Jets next year.
Sorry, I was just getting some nonsense text about MLB free agency. What about Rodgers?
Percentage he starts for the Jets next year.
I mean, at least 50. I mean, what about you?
No way, dude. I'm thinking like 25%, honestly. I think Woody is tight, honestly.
He is, but
and I think he's again, I mean, you know, firing Salah middle of the year.
But then you know he's gonna be excited. Oh, this could be like Favre and Rodgers. We'll draft somebody. He's not gonna play all year. He can learn from Rodgers. I guarantee like I said, if Rodgers wants to continue, which I kind of feel like he's gonna do because he's not gonna want to go out like this. That's just like kind of a thought. I don't know.
I could see him being tight though and wanting to leave the Jets and being like it was all their fault.
No, that's what they were saying too. Yeah. They were talking about that.
Rick and Dave?
No,
or your boy on the fan?
I think it was actually, and it was just because I don't know, there was commercials and it was the only thing. But it was, I think Evan and Tiki were talking about it yesterday.
Okay.
Which I mean, I think I could definitely see that. So I don't know. There's just a bunch of different ways it could go. I thought we had an incoming call.
Oh, we do have an incoming call.
All right.
It's my Uncle Richie, actually.
Oh, wow.
All right, everyone stand by. Hold on 1 second. Let me just push him through to the board. Uncle Richie? Hello, you're live on the Sports Port.
Anthony, it's Uncle Richie, you filthy animal.
Hey, Uncle Richie, what's going on?
Nothing. What? What's new?
Nothing. We're just doing the show right now. You're live on the Sports Port.
I'm lying on the sports show. Well, when are we getting rid of Aaron Rodgers?
We were just talking about that, and I don't know. Brian over here thinks he's going to be starting for the Jets next season.
Just because it's the wrong move.
Because all the money we spent for him. It's terrible.
It really is. It's been a disgrace this year. It's been so tough watching these games.
He can't throw a pass for over 7 yards. 7 yards, what do you have? 150-something yards completions, all under 7 yards. 21 for 30-something. Every pass over, he misses. He's done.
But is it not a big part of it, though, that he's not getting time, though? I do question that. Not to say that he's still the Aaron Rodgers we know, but is that a big part of it, though? I have to ask that question.
First of all, he was hot. You're not going to – our line is probably the best it's been in a long, long time.
And it's still not that good.
And it's still not that good. Correct. But for paying someone $87 million, he should be able to dance back there at 41 years old. When I was 41 years old, I was running marathons under 3 hours.
Yeah, no, it's true.
You still got to dance back there. You don't think you're going to stay there and be like the Eiffel Tower and be protected. You got to move around a little bit. But he never tries to even throw long. He throws short. I could go in there and throw these 7-yard passes and connect.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And I've been saying it's like I don't care. Even if he wants to come back, I think they're just best off just tear this thing down to the studs. I know they're nervous to do, and they're scarred by Zach Wilson. But I think you need a competent coach, competent general manager, and just draft a quarterback and grow with them. And that's what you have to do if you ever want to have anything sustainable.
We've tried that. But we've been through a bunch of those.
But was it not because they didn't hire the right people?
Well, Zach Wilson was supposed to be one of the best.
Well, then you didn't draft the right guy, and you didn't have the right coach in place.
Then you had Rex Ryan and the tattoo artist on his arm there. Who was that quarterback? Was supposed to be one of the best.
But I think that was a situation where Sanchez definitely was a disappointment. But I think also I've been saying this. Having a defensive coach with a young quarterback is not a winning combination.
Wait a second. Can you tell me how they lost to not St. Louis, Arizona? They're favored 1.5 points, and they lose by 30.
Yeah, because they're inept. And but I do think coaching is a problem. I've said this all along. I don't think they've had a quality head coach since Bill Parcells.
What, you didn't like Rex Ryan?
No, Rex Ryan, it was nice to where we got to, but
defense.
Right. And it's like you're telling me if those teams had Rex as the defensive coordinator and then somebody else as the head coach, probably would have won a Super Bowl.
Well, then bring Belichick in.
But he doesn't. He will never go to the Jets though because he hates the Jets.
Yeah, he hates the Jets because they came there and left. That's why years ago he was first with the Jets.
No, I know, and he just won't stop talking about how inept the organization is and how it was the best thing he ever did, and he didn't want to be the Jets head coach. He talks about that all the time.
Leon Hess, Johnson. I don't know what the answer is, but it's not it's not Rodgers. It's not a quarterback, Zach Wilson coming. It's not the coach. What are you talking about? We had Bowles. Bowles brought 3 Super Bowls to Tampa Bay. He didn't say nothing on the Jets.
Wow.
What did Bowles do?
Yeah, I mean,
he was jerk. He didn't even get excited on the sideline. He stood there and just nodded all the time.
But that's kind of what Salah's done because he came in. Everybody says he's the rah-rah guy jumping up and down in San Francisco, but he hasn't been the same guy as a head coach. So I do think, obviously they're not going to get him, but a Dan Campbell is what this organization needs.
I don't know. They need somebody to kick butt and not be afraid of someone who's getting paid $87 million to bench him when he's playing like crap because you put all your money on some of these players and then they play like crap and then you're afraid to bench them because of the fans. You pay so much money you don't want to look like an idiot.
No, yeah. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, too, I mean, they gave the keys to the car to Aaron Rodgers. And I mean, any other coach coming in is going to have to deal with him if he is still here. So
and I've said, too, and I don't think this gets talked about. I think the reason why, too, you look at the talent Aaron Rodgers had, for a guy his caliber, the MVPs, you would think that would be more associated with winning. And he's only been to one Super Bowl. Obviously, he won it. But I think the biggest problem is him as a leader. I don't think he's a good leader, and that's why he doesn't win as much as he should.
Leader, he got everybody fired. He moved all the business. What do you think's doing it? He's pulling the strings because he's getting paid so much, and he's doing a terrible job. At least run the ball once in a while, then, and get hurt, and at least look like you're going to do something.
Yeah, Yeah, no,
I mean, some of these quarterbacks, they're prima donnas. They stand back there, but you got a Tutu, whatever, from Miami, who's had 4 concussions, and he keeps coming back playing, and he wants to play.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So, I mean, these guys, I don't know what they're thinking. First of all, they got to get a stadium and get out of Jersey. They got to go back to New York.
Yeah.
Have a stadium.
Tony's mentioned Staten Island.
I think Staten Island would be a great spot right on South Beach. They built that new facility for equestrian track and fields.
Yep. There you go.
How do you share a stadium with 2 ball clubs with billions of dollars and it's not even domed in?
and
you
not even
share it.
domed in, and it's the ugliest stadium in the league.
And you're in Newark, New Jersey.
In a swamp.
Oh,
I'd rather be back at Shea Stadium when I had season tickets
There
up
you
in
go.
the nosebleed. That's where the Jets should be back over there. That back where the World Fair is over there. They were talking about it, and then they were going to put it in Manhattan, and then they put a kibosh on it because MSG didn't want them coming in stealing all their revenue for Madison Square Garden. So that's
Yeah,
why they lost
Manhattan would have been a dope spot.
it
would
would have been sick.
But what is if you, I know it's so hard and there's so many moving pieces. If it was up to you, I mean, what's the path forward here? I mean, how do you finally get out of this type of scenario that you've been in for almost 15 years, not even being close to the playoffs?
Well, we've tried quarterbacks. I mean, we've taken them in, put them under our wing, brought other quarterbacks in to teach them, and it's not. I think we need a new owner. We got to get rid of what's his name,
Woody Johnson. Yeah, he's a joke.
Sell the team to somebody who cares. He sits over there, and you got to get rid of him. And then, I mean, the coach. I think get a guy like from Michigan, a Harbaugh up there.
Or, Yep. You need that. That's what. But like I think we forget how important coaching is because in other leagues maybe it's not as important. Coaching's important in the NFL. You need a guy who has presence in the locker room. There just hasn't been that. It's not even close. Not even close. Robert Saleh never had any type of respect like Jim Harbaugh would have, or like Bill Parcells had, or like Bill Belichick had. It's on a completely different plane.
Bring the Pittsburgh coach. He's unbelievable. Tomlin, he controls that team. He's what goes. I'd take him in a heartbeat. I wouldn't take Bowles back. I don't give a crap how many Super Bowls he wins. Then he had Kotite. What the heck did Kotite ever do for us?
Oh,
Nothing.
yeah. Yep, exactly. No, I think it's true. And it's like they haven't had an exciting hire in a while. They had Adam Gase, of all people. I mean, it's just they just have not done well.
They had an exciting hire, and it was Rodgers, and he tore his Achilles on the fourth play on the first set of
And you did that because your front office isn't buttoned up, and they thought they could have a patchwork offensive line with a 39-year-old quarterback, and that's what happens.
Yeah. Hey, Anthony, to get off on the football thing, I have a question to ask.
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm making cheesecake.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right. You sent me the recipe.
Yeah.
And you have 4 eggs with the graham crackers for the crust, but I don't think the eggs go into graham crackers. That goes in the cheesecake, right?
No. The eggs do go in the cracker crust. Yeah. You mix that up because then it makes it more malleable. Thank you very much, Michael.
What are you?
Huh?
Thanks, man.
So you're making cheesecake tonight, huh?
Huh?
You're making cheesecake tonight, right now?
Right now, I'm in the process. But I see your recipe: 4 eggs with graham cracker crumbs. I don't remember Aunt Mary doing that, or my sister doing that.
You don't remember a lot of things.
I know. I'm old.
My mother's calling me right now.
She wants to give you the recipe.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me try and merge a call. Maybe I can add my mother here.
No eggs in the crust.
There's definitely eggs in the crust. Here we go.
She said no eggs.
All right, hold on 1 second, Uncle Richie. To the bottom of this.
I could use some cheesecake, right?
Dude, cheesecake right now would be so good. Hi, Mom. Hold on. We're merging the calls. Good morning. All right, Mom, you're on the phone here with Uncle Richie as well.
I know. That's what I told Anthony.
There's no eggs in the crust?
No, it's just butter.
Oh, it's the butter, the melted butter. That's right. It's the melted butter that's in the crust.
So the 4 eggs go in the filling.
Yes. The 4 eggs do go in the filling.
How long have you been making this cheesecake?
I've only made this cheesecake 3 times.
Okay.
So,
okay.
and
but
it's been few and far between.
Though,
yes,
right?
I've been around.
Well, you made it with me about 6 times.
Yeah. No, very true. I type that into my notes right now. Butter in the eggs. Butter in the crust.
And when I got the recipe from you and eggs in the crust, I said, wait a second, something's wrong here.
Are you sure you're reading that right? Eggs in the crust? It doesn't really matter.
I'm going to pull. Hold on. I'll pull it up. I just had it.
Anthony, tell him he's got to do 1 egg with the sugar.
Oh, no, I didn't do that. It's already in the mix. Get the eggs.
Now it's going to be lumpy.
It says here. It says here. Cheese, 3 bricks of cream cheese, 1 1/3 cups of sugar, 16 ounces of sour cream, 1 cup of cream, vanilla, 1 cup of, now this is the crust, 1 cup of graham cracker crumbs, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 4 eggs.
Yeah, that was written wrong.
Okay. All right. When you coming to visit me? I'm going golfing at 1.
Oh, nice.
Going golfing at 1.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, I can't make the 1 o'clock tee time today. I don't know. It's been tough. I got to visit my mother first.
I know, but Taylor's coming down the end of this month. Then they're coming down Christmas. And again, the 4th of July contest is back on next year, Anthony.
Really? Wait, so this upcoming July 4th?
Yep.
All right. Well, you can count me in for that.
What's the contest?
It's just a bonanza of like sporting events. Golf. Unfortunately, there's pickleball. There's ping pong.
This
family
like,
v family. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
I'm thinking this is like a bake-off.
No. There's no cheese. Well, there may be some cheesecake, but this is all about the competition.
Nice, man.
Yes, dude. So
you can.
Yeah.
Josh B says this is golden.
So you can count me in for that. But, obviously Thanksgiving, Christmas, I'll be home with my mother, but maybe we can work something out. I don't know.
Well, you know what? It's $99 round trip right now. Allegiant flies down here. And Casey's down here now.
Allegiant?
So
Am I going to make it down there?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, I'll keep.
I just picked up on going to make it down there late. Thinking about food.
Matter of fact, the Rangers are playing Lightning on the 28th of December.
Oh, wow.
Wow, would you look at that? That would be something.
That would be a great game to go to.
MLA Arena.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll try it.
Bill's playing the Jets.
I'll have. Yes, you're still on my. I'll have circle
circle
that date, and I'll let you know.
All right. Well, let me know. Anyway, thanks for the information and the Jet information. If you want any more Jet talk, let me know, because you know what our motto is for the Jets now?
What is it?
As always, next year.
I had a feeling that was coming.
Well, you know where we are. Every morning, 10 a.m.
Yes.
Uncle Richie, you're more than
Give us a
welcome to
shout
call
anytime.
in. And good luck with that cheesecake.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
All
All
right,
right,
you
you
too.
too.
Love you. All right, you already
Love you,
screwed it up. All right, goodbye. I love you. Just
What a
like that,
conference
dude.
call. It got me even more hungry than I already
The
was.
cheesecake's gonna be lumpy, dude.
Dude, that's a lot of cream cheese in there though. Couple 3 sticks?
4 bricks.
4 bricks.
Yeah,
4 bricks.
dude.
Wow. So that's kind of nuts. And kind of, I was just before, we had the conference call, was just going to kind of wrap up. So week 10 is over. Week 11 begins Thursday. Commanders at Eagles, which should be a good game. Eagles are -3.5 there. And I know when we were talking about this yesterday with Michael, you were saying you still feel the Commanders have the upper hand at the moment. Obviously, there's a couple of days away till this game, but that's kind of your initial thought.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what it is. For some reason, I feel like it's going to be the Eagles. It's going to be a close game,
really.
but you might want to buy it down to 3.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You think within a field goal?
Right? I mean, doesn't this? I feel like this has like a classic written all over it. Maybe Al Michaels finally gets excited for the first time in 3 years.
Who's the kicker for the Eagles?
Jake Elliott.
Jake Elliott. Long time.
Yep. Made that 50-something yarder against the Giants to win. Giants fans have hated him since.
I guess. I guess you got to stop Barkley, I suppose, right? Is really probably your biggest thing here. Do the commies have what it takes? I guess not.
Yeah. I could see it's going to be close either way. I do think that.
But again, a close game, your Barkley's rushing, he's getting the yards, field goal position, and then your boy Elliott.
Yeah, but you can't count the Commanders out. What a job Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury this year with that team. So that'll be a treat on Thursday, and then your Sunday games. The Bears hosting Ernie's Packers there. Any chance, you take the coordinator out and, you haven't scored a touchdown in a couple of games. I mean, any way you could see. I mean, their defense has played well. Jordan Love has thrown 10 picks. Any chance you could see them giving them a fight? Or
yeah, I could see that. I mean,
game?
Let's not forget here, Packers are still one of the youngest teams in the league.
Right.
They've never been in this position. They're having a great year. They know, obviously, I'm sure they still remember what happened in the postseason last year. So it's like, I don't know, maybe in these moments where they feel like they should be winning, they play down to a team. The Bears, like you said, maybe some new, I don't know, creative offensive plays are happening.
Yeah.
Maybe they work, and then all of a sudden the Bears are up at halftime, and then the Packers can come back, and it's just.
And would it be almost like a Moose situation for Ernie? Because he said it's over with Williams, no chance, Packers Super Bowl, and then right.
I mean, there it is, dude.
We've seen that happen before. I mean, I want to see the Packers do well, but I'm just saying I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. The Lions are 13-point home favorites against Jacksonville. I mean, a game that you expect them to win, but 13 is just such a big number. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up winning by 10 or so, but I think they're definitely going to win. And then, actually, I guess if Lawrence is out, I don't know, but I guess that would be a big part of it.
Yeah. Who's the backup is Mac
Jones, who looked like crap last week. Speaking of crap, the Titans hosting the Vikings. Darnold, the 3 picks last week in the win. Any chance, Tennessee, Pollard goes crazy.
I mean, I can see Pollard going crazy, I guess. Levis threw well, I guess, last week.
I still feel like he's
yeah. So I don't know, man. I think Vikings. What's the number here? 6?
6.
I think they could cover that.
Yeah. What about the Dolphins covering 7.5 at home against the Raiders?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah,
dude.
I think the Raiders. Pierce. I mean, I don't think they're gonna
dumpster fire over there.
Minshew.
And again, Dolphins. I think they taste something.
Right.
So I think they're gonna want to at least push towards something because you never know. We said the 10-8 or whatever. Could be 9-8.
And then we have the rematch of the 2018 Super Bowl, Patriots and Rams. Right now, it looks like Rams 6-point road favorites.
Oh, really? Let me go into the game. This one says -5.
Oh,
but
5. No, I just read that wrong. Get the glasses.
Get the glasses, dude. Oh no, what are you doing?
I mean, obviously they beat the Bears last week. No one saw that coming, but you would think that the Rams bounce back in a big way there.
Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah,
they're gonna win.
The Patriots. I mean, I know they've had some wins this year, but I think they're still a garbage team right now. And then you also have the Browns and the Saints. That's kind of interesting. I mean, that's kind of toilet bowl status. The Riz, though. I mean, does the Riz will them to victory?
I guess.
Jameis at times has looked okay. A revenge spot for him. And
give me the Saints, dude.
Yeah. But kind of a weird spot. I honestly think the Jets, I can't believe they're favored. I think they're going to lose to the Colts, honestly. Taylor, $150 on the ground. Flacco, 3 touchdowns, right? Right?
I mean, again, nothing would be I can't see the defense having causing many turnovers,
No.
How many interceptions does the Jets defense have this year? Can't be a lot.
No.
Let's see.
I mean, it's funny because the Colts are,
bad.
Yeah, but how do you not say the Jets are worse?
They have 2 interceptions.
What? Is that serious?
That's what it says here.
That's atrocious.
Yeah, and they're both by the same guy. Who is it? Is it Eccles?
Oh,
Brandon
okay.
Eccles.
Yeah. No, that's
what are we doing, dude?
Not good. So, I don't know. I just think it's just this thing is going to spiral, and I really think too that they would be best off losing out, getting a high draft pick, and finally getting a quarterback. We'll see if they do so. Baltimore 3.5-point road favorites at Pittsburgh. Some disrespect there for the Steelers, or no?
I would think so, right? I understand. Baltimore is good, but
3 in the hook
at home, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it should be like Ravens, like -1, -1.5, 3.5. See, I know we're talking about a couple points here, but
I still would even think possibly Steelers -1 because they're at home.
True.
I mean, I don't even, that is a bit of an insult.
I think I like the +3.5 there easily.
For the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
And then you have Falcons Broncos rematch of 1998 Super Bowl, Tony.
Where were you that day?
I was at a neighbor's house. It was the first Super Bowl party I ever went to.
That's pretty sick.
6 years old. I remember the wings.
Oh, really, dude?
Yeah.
Where were they from?
I don't know.
Ah.
I'm gonna say they're really good. But I kind of just like stuff we've seen in recent years, the altitude. I kind of feel like Denver's gonna win, and right now they are 2-point favorites.
The altitude, he says. I mean, yeah, let's go, dude. Are we rooting for the run? We got to root for Atlanta to be maybe lose a couple here and there. So let's go.
You love that.
Yeah, dude.
The Niners should handle the Seahawks, and I know, I think Mike McDonald, will be a good coach. Seahawks have had injuries. Geno, I think, is just he had his time, but I think that's a guy that they probably should move on from. So I think the Niners, win that one handily.
Yeah, you think they cover 6.5?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see them not covering, to be honest. I can see
28-17.
Yeah. Well, no. Wait, 2017.
No, I'm saying they do cover. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you say 20-17?
28.
28
to 17. Yeah. That just a thought kind of came to my mind there.
Interesting.
Are you rooting for Josh Allen to cover the 2.5 against Kansas City?
Yeah, I would be. I'd be rooting for the Bills this game.
And are you expecting it though? Or is it going to be block field goal?
No. I am expecting it. This is gonna be the outlier. It makes sense that it would be the Bills to take down the Chiefs right now.
Oh, to give them their first loss of the season.
Of course, dude.
But then the playoffs, the rematch.
You never know. But still, I think. Give me Bills here. Give me Bills.
Bengals Chargers Sunday night in Inglewood.
That's gonna
be a good one. But
I want to lean Chargers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Better team, better coach.
Yeah, definitely better coach.
Bengals, you could say
arguably better team.
Terrible defense. So
yeah,
maybe we see the Chargers.
But the offense, Chase, 60 points.
Chargers have pretty good offense too, though. Dobbins, Gus Edwards
dude.
Came back last week. We talked about McConkey.
That's right.
The other day. So I think that'll be a good game though. And then we finish off with probably a snoozer. Cooper Rush and the boys looking to avoid an 0-5 start at home against the Texans. Texans bounce back. I mean, how do you not, right?
It's written already, dude. Writing's on the wall, Brian.
So that's going to be week 11. Crazy
wow.
to even say. But an exciting time of the year, that's for sure. But let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the nail break! It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink Washington made the full split save! Are you kidding me? Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
Let's fucking go, Brian! Hey, 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 hey,
hey, hey. Let's fucking go, though, right?
Let's go is right, man. Gonna be a good one tonight, dude.
Gonna be a time.
I can feel it.
Yeah, I can feel it too, especially because, it's like we've earned it after, what we had to go through last time around, solid performance, especially coming off that loss last time they played at home. I think the guys are going to be jacked up. So let's go. We'll talk about that more in a second, but just running down the results from yesterday. The Canadiens, the body clock 7-5 in Buffalo.
Wow.
With that early start, really, really didn't surprise me. Buffalo, of course, being the model of inconsistency. Suzuki and Caulfield with 2 goals apiece there for the Canadiens. The Flyers off the Schneid, 4-3 in a shootout. Mikovakov? Matvey Michkov. Him connected it. I
actually forgot how to say his name. Travis.
Koenig.
Something like that.
I'm sure Tommy knows. Tommy definitely knows. But You expected that game to be the closing. I mean, the thing that really pops out here, the 6 goals by the Stars in the first period against
that was
Butkus
wild,
Penguins,
dude.
huh?
I couldn't believe that when I turned that game on last night. It was
a Hulu.
Yeah, dude, that was a Hulu. Crazy.
But I mean, Jesus, like, is this finally where it really all falls apart for Pittsburgh?
I mean, could be, dude. I mean, it just meant that they really weren't able to keep up with what the Stars were throwing down. Speed,
age, right?
Accuracy. Yeah, obviously a little bit of a younger team. Obviously, Duquesne's been around the block. Is that me? Oh, it's two.
Yeah.
Marshman as well. But again, I mean, the Stars are a really good offensive team. So, and then on top of that, too, I mean, Ottinger was playing really well. He did have obviously shut out them in the first period, only that 1 goal in the second. So, he was playing hard because, of course, Penguins put together good shifts. But I mean, obviously they were just demoralized from having to play a good offense, from having a tough time getting past Jake Ottinger. Like, you know?
I just think, I don't know. I'm sure, they can turn it around, but I think maybe, the father time finally catching up to them. Carlson getting up there in age as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And then the Flames 3-1 over the Kings. So I was kind of surprised about that one. Thought the Kings had been playing better, overall this season. But as we know, anything can happen in the NHL. It took overtime, but Samuel Girard, the hero of the Avs, back to square one. New life at 8-8, Tony?
It does seem that way, right? I mean, not for nothing, like Georgiev in OT looked good overall in the night, over 900 save percentage, only gave up those 2 goals. So it was great, dude. And that, Girard kind of, breakaway in the OT winner. He actually, I believe, was originally drafted by the Predators. So,
okay.
Bit of poetic justice there for him, dude. And then again, I mean, the Avs, you would imagine that the offensive talent they have around their team, they have to figure out their goaltending situation, and then that's it, sort of deal. So,
you feel like though they can become the Avs again?
Yes.
with Gorgie?
Yes,
you think he turns
I do.
It around?
I do with Gorgie, dude. Yes, absolutely.
I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the league. But it's important, coming up. You've played 16 games so far. The next 16. What are you going to do? You're going to go 12-4. You're going to go 11-5. Then that'll kind of catapult you to where you need to be. The Knights suffer their first home loss of the season, 5-2. Carolina, getting the victory in Vegas here. Kochetkov, a great game, 30 of 32 in the pipes. The grizzled vet Jordan Stahl finding pay dirt, and it's interesting. I think the expectations a little lower than they had been in previous years for Carolina, and here they are at 11-3 to start the season.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I feel like Carolina, because of just so competitive how other teams got, all of a sudden they're like almost on the back burner. Ironically, especially if you're having some guys leave,
right? Giving up assets for Gensel, having him go out the door.
Right. Exactly. So people thought, this team could look much different next year. Seems like they really haven't, missed a beat. I mean, obviously Jordan Stahl, the shorthanded goal, which is great for him, but obviously a veteran of the Hurricanes here. Kakeniemi obviously has been around too as well. Jordan Martinhook. So obviously, they clearly have shown that, we may give up some guys, but our team was so freaking deep anyway. We can afford to recycle those roles, sort of deal. So here we go.
And I think what was important is, there was a lot of thought that, their coach, is it Brindamore?
Brindamore, yep.
That he was going to leave, wanting, the most money possible, but they retained him. I think that was huge.
That was huge. He's obviously a tremendous coach. He's someone who won the cup
with Laviolette.
Which is wild, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, huge Kane. So let's go, dude.
Yeah. So, I think we'll get some good, Ranger Hurricanes games this season. And, obviously there's a decent amount of games on the schedule tonight, but the focus here, of course, is at the Garden. The Rangers, the shutout victory over Detroit over the weekend. We talked about at the top, going with the grizzled vet quick here. Against the Jets. So, I mean, there's so many things that go into, playing good hockey, winning games. But I mean, when you look at this specifically, is there anything that stands out to you as the key from the get-go to make sure that your best foot is put forward here?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's going to be really tough. Again, one thing against a team like the Jets, obviously, 14-1 here. They have been, rarely making mistakes this season so far. I would say maybe as the Rangers that your best job, I would say, is to protect your own blue line, to be honest. I've been saying this a few times where it's like you're trying to make it harder and harder for a team to advance into your own zone. But especially I feel like a team like the Jets, a lot of their offense starts and stops with how they control the puck at your blue line. If you disrupt that, I feel like that would cause a huge issue. I mean, it's, you look at some of their goal scorers too. Josh Morrissey, the defenseman, again, like, being able to score from the blue line, like, let's not give him, time and like space to make a shot from the blue line and have it deflected down low. Like you have to play really tight defense, I feel, in order to stop this team here. Neil Pionk, too, another one who I think has had quite a few goals as a defender. You have to protect and maintain that blue line if you want to stop any offensive advancement here from the Jets, which obviously you're going to need to, because I think they have, numerous guys who are, just touching 20 points in the season already. So you're going to have to play some very good defense, rely on Jonathan Quick. That's why he has the start here, to play some lockdown tending. And then again, I just feel like if you keep playing your game offensively and you stay consistent and you don't get bogged down by probably some of the crazy saves that Hellebuyck will make, eventually you find the back of the net, you can win this game, like at a 2-1, a 2-0, something like that.
And don't have, like we've seen, I know necessarily not last game, but like the game before, broken possessions, letting the other team dominate possession. You can't do that here because then it'll get late early. But I just think if you can just be aggressive from the start, it's going to be tough to score against the Jets. So I think you have to be creative too. Maybe, try a couple different things, and just get your best guys the puck in positions that they are most likely to succeed, like Kreider near the net. I mean, I'm sure the Jets will be game planning for that. But once that, you can't miss when that opportunity arises either.
Of course. And again, I mean, you can game plan all you want for Kreider. Sometimes it just kind of overpowers you. So it's like, get him down there, dude. Yeah, exactly.
Would you say best Ranger ever at that or no? Just in terms of like the right next to the net.
I would say so. I mean, in my lifetime, definitely.
Yeah. Unbelievable how he's made a living doing that, and just what a great Ranger he has been. So excited for the game tonight. I think the atmosphere is going to be electric as well as the play on the ice. And I think we will have a bunch of electric play around the National Hockey League. So let's do a Tuesday night Frozen Frenzy.
Let's freaking go, dude. Gonna be a big frenzy here. Quite a few games. I think we have like 7 here on the slate. And tonight we're starting our usual time. No body clock problems here. 7 p.m. in Toronto. Scotiabank, the Leafs are taking on the Senators. Ottawa, slight favorites here at plus 110. Your over-under on this game, Brian, is 5.5. Senators, I think, just got off a win. Yeah, overtime win against Boston. Linus Ullmark, the reunion. Boston Bruins, haha. But now we're on to Toronto on the road here. You think Ottawa has what it takes to create a little upset in Toronto?
No. And I know Toronto's been a little inconsistent this year, but strong at home, 7-2. And I just think better team. I think, being at home helps as well. So I think we'll see a good amount of goals. I like the over here, but I think the Maple Leafs have what it takes to get this done. I'm going to say 5-2, so Leafs in the over.
Leafs in the over, I like that. I mean, I think Leafs do end up winning it. I can see it going maybe under, though. Omar Stellaris has been all right. Maybe Stutzel with the lone goal or Brady Tkachuk with the lone goal for the Senators. Maple Leafs get the job done. I would say Nylander, leads the team in goals, not much of anything else. So I say maybe 2 goals by him, and that's the difference. Maple Leafs here, 3-2. Leafs and the under, ladies and gentlemen. Next game here. I guess we got to do it, 7 p.m. Let's go Rangers, the Garden, Brian. I mean, you're wearing the hat. You're wearing the jersey hoodie. Let's fucking go, dude. Winnipeg, even coming into the Garden. Over-under is 6.5. Very interesting with that goaltending matchup. Obviously, Jets here, I think, are on a 6-game win streak coming into New York. Rangers, the bounce-back shutout against Detroit. Just quick, and the boys have what it takes to make it 2.
Yeah, this is all-time classic. I just think defensive hockey game, honestly. I think there'll be some scoring, but the under is in play here. But I think, honestly, like we're going to set ourselves up for an epic third period. I think we're 2-2 after 2. And I have this sense with 2 minutes to go, like we just talked about, Kreider, the stick, hanging out there, Panarin with the dish, 3-2 Rangers, all-time classic. Let's fucking go.
Let's go, dude. So you have Rangers in the under?
Yeah.
I'm going to echo that sentiment. Definitely all-time classic here. I say the Rangers win this game by a final score, Brian, of 1-0.
Are you kidding?
With the back-to-back shutouts late in the third period after a penalty kill. It's Mika Zibanejad out of the box, the saucer pass, the breakaway, the top shelf backhand. Hellebuck down, Rangers up. Let's go, dude. Next game, 7:30 ESPN Plus Hulu, Florida, the Panthers versus the Devils in Sunrise, Florida, dude. Uncle Richie, perhaps, I don't know. But the Panthers here are minus 145, over under 6.5. Panthers on quite the little win streak here. And they're taking on the Devils here after a shootout victory against the Flyers. Devils just lost, speaking of 1-0. To the San Jose Sharks. Do they bounce back or the Panthers take care of business?
Panthers continue to rumble. All the key cogs from the championship team last year. I think they embarrassed the Devils. I think 6-2 outcome, never in doubt. 4 goals in the first period, coasting the rest of the way. Panthers and the under.
I hate to say it because Devils, I think, are going to be better this year, but I think just Panthers take care of business. I think early and often for them, they win 5-1. So I guess that's Panthers in the under. But regardless, we'll move up now. 8 p.m. St. Louis as the Blues are taking on the Bruins here. Blues 500 at home. Bruins 2-4-1 here on the road. 7-7-2 overall. They're minus 165 on the money line. 5.5 is your over/under. Both teams coming off of losses. The Blues just got absolutely shellacked by the Caps, 8-1. Are they going to be playing with some ferocity first time meeting the Bruins here today?
I could see why someone's going to tell me, St. Louis, the home dogs, the odds, all of that. But I know Boston hasn't looked great to start the season, but I think they're the better team here, and I think they get the job done. And I'm feeling like a 4-2 victory, maybe a 3-2 lead late, past the empty netter to seal it. Bruins in the under.
Very interesting, Brian going with the Bruins here. I think I do like the value bet here for the Blues. They are at home. They have struggled to score a little bit this season. So I think Binnington can give them some issues there. And Swayman's been known to give up a couple. So I think maybe Kyrou with 2 goals and an assist. Buchnevich, another goal and an assist for him. And I say Blues win this one. I'll say 4-1. Blues and the under. Boston hurting a little bit here. Next game, 9 p.m. here. As we're getting later and later and later, we're going back to Canada. Looks like we're going to be in Edmonton here as the Oilers taking on the Islanders. Rogers Place. Islanders, obviously a team who's been struggling to score. Speaking of that, that's why they're plus 190 on the money line. Over under 6.5, Brian. Oilers, best victory of the year coming off of against Vancouver, 7-3. Islanders, dude.
I mean, it's crazy. 2 teams, I think you could say the models of inconsistency here. So it's like, what do you really do? But I do think the Oilers are better. And McDavid, where has he been? Kind of quiet to start the year. So I could see the Oilers with maybe one of their best victories of the season. I'm going to say 5-2. McDavid back in a big way. 2 goals, all 3 assists.
Give me the Islanders in the upset. I know that's kind of just like a fade the Oilers spot here.
Of course.
But I think Bo Horvath, Cal Palmieri, Brock Nelson, Noah Dobson, maybe. These guys, we haven't heard of them a lot this year. All score, it's a day of plentiful for the Islanders.
A day of giving.
Day of giving here. Exactly. Dave's going to be around the corner here. Islanders, thankful for that. Give me Islanders in the over. They win 6-4, Brian. By the way, courtesy of Josh B, courtesy of Vince Mercogliano, tweeting out Igor first on the ice for skate this morning. looks like he may get the start. So
seems like there's still a question here because I saw Tommy commenting in the our comments as well.
Yeah.
So and they said, Tony, quoting your girl, that it's not official till Molly Walker tweets it out.
I mean, Tommy Donovan knows, dude.
He does.
So, but then again,
you paid him to say that. Though.
I will say though, sometimes like Vince is more on top of the ball.
Wow, I'm surprised. I thought Molly over everything. No.
Well, I mean, listen. Let's not get the things distracted here. She's a great reporter. Love that. Great job. But there's no bias. All right.
All right.
Vince is great. Mercagliano, The Post. I love it. All their articles are all great. I don't pick any favorites.
Just want real information at the end of the day.
Exactly, dude. So let's get back to the frenzy as we are going to stay in Canada. Final two games, 10 p.m. Vancouver Canucks against the Flames. Calgary plus 190, Brian. Over under 6.5. Obviously, two teams that are good. Canucks, I mentioned the loss to Edmonton. The Flames did take care of business against LA. Flames, again, maybe a model of inconsistency themselves. Canucks having to take care of business at home, dude.
Yeah, Brock Boser, dude. Quinn Hughes, dude. But yeah, I think the Flames back-to-back, a Canadian rivalry game here. But I think the Canucks are better. I know the Flames just won, but I think they'll be a little tired as well. This to me is 4-1, so I'm going to say Canucks in the under. Boser, the hat trick, Josh.
I love that. Canucks in the under. I do like that. Boser hat trick, I don't know. Why not? Boser hat trick. 4-1, you say. Canucks and the under. Let's go. Last game now here. 10 p.m. Seattle sticking around the West Coast here to take on the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets here are plus 140 on the money line. Over under 6.5. Blue Jackets on a 5-game losing streak. 5-game losing streak. Kraken just snapped their 5-game losing streak with a OT winner against Vegas that we've talked about. What do you think here? Seattle at home?
I don't know what it is, but I just had this vision, this thought. Shootout victory for the Blue Jackets off the Schneid. Marchenko, the game winner, 3-2, Columbus.
So under. Blue Jackets in the under. I'm going to go Kraken and the over. Started off hot, but then chilled off for the Kraken is Jordan Eberle. I say he nets the Hattie tonight. They win 6-4. Kraken and your over, right?
And just like that is your Tuesday night frozen frenzy.
How about that, dude?
But you know what I have to say? I know there's a little, like, it's up in the air who's getting the start in net. Now it seems more like Igor's getting the start. Either way, I feel great, honestly. So I don't think the Rangers can go wrong here, no? More information out there?
I don't know. I was kind of raw for the quick start. I'm not going to lie. I had the shutout, so.
No, but I'm saying it's not like all of a sudden now I think we're fucked. Like if Igor starts, like Igor is a great goalie as well. Like I know, like we're just going by quick shutout last time, right? I mean, it doesn't change how confident I am of the Rangers stepping up here and getting the job done. I mean, the Jets are due to get punched in the mouth. They are.
No, you're right. Let's go. Igor, shutout, 1-0, same deal. I was just fucking saying. I was pumped for the Jonathan Quick start. We were getting all hyped up for it. Then you pull the rug out from under me.
No, I've been watching. They don't end up getting the start anyway.
Oh, my God, dude.
The misinformation out there. It's like, you think that's PETA doing a little strategic mind game here?
Yeah, maybe.
But it's like at the end of the day,
who does that?
You don't need to do that,
no,
right?
No, you don't need to do that.
But I have to say, we talk about like out of our seat, Tony. I am jacked up for tonight. Dem C's, maybe the shepherd pie. Let's fucking go, huh?
Yeah, let's fucking go is right, dude. Definitely the Guinness, dude.
Yeah, the Guinness, the car bombs.
Good God, dude.
Yeah, let's fucking go. I can't wait. But wow, I feel like what a quick show as well. I feel like the food call in really did it.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely, dude. And it does feel quick, even though we're approaching hour 22, hour 23. So still
somehow you find yourself in the same spot,
dude,
right?
The cheesecake. I wonder how it's going.
Yeah,
cheesecake right now.
I'm sure it's going well. If I had to guess, given the family tradition.
Yes,
right?
I would hope so. I would think though, my Uncle Richard's sometimes a little impatient. You got to wait for the cream cheese blocks to really soften up before you start mixing.
Yeah,
so
maybe check in with them after the show. Yeah. But yeah, so another great show today, and really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe all of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jane Costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Rangers! And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.